Ten Hag does not have you in his plans, he doesn't trust you, he doesn't want you at the club, he took the captaincy off you, he didn't play you as a centre-back and played Luke Shaw in centre-back rather than you when you were sat on the bench waiting to play. And if that isn't a sign, and if that isn't a signal for this guy, I don't know what is. What else do you have to do to tell Harry Maguire that he's not wanted at the club and that he's not going to get any game time no matter what he does? Welcome back to the Man United stream, hope you're doing well. We have a packed out show for you, so sit back and relax and let's get started. We will kick off the show first with transfer news and then move on to other Manchester United news, so let's go. Kicking off transfer news, we're going to go straight into Sofyan Amrabat. Yes, the Sofyan Amrabat deal is still yet to be done by Manchester United. They've been waiting all summer to get this guy done, but we're waiting on transfers out before they can go and sign him, and that still remains a position from Manchester United's perspective officially that they need players out before they can go and sign Sofyan Amrabat. But I'm being told by sources within Manchester United that they are ready to sign him. Of course, Manchester United are waiting on players to leave the club first, like McTominay, like Maguire and like Donny van de Beek. Once these players do leave, Manchester United hope to generate some kind of income from them, and then they can go out and buy further players. Another player that Manchester United want to get in before the summer transfer window closes is Todibo. Yes, the centre-back Todibo is on the hit list for Manchester United for this summer transfer window, and Manchester United are trying very hard to get rid of Maguire, and they've already offered him a £6 million payoff to get the hell out of the club, but he's refused that and he's rejected that offer and wants to stay at Manchester United. Clearly he wants more money before he leaves Manchester United. What we're hearing is that there's a strong possibility that Manchester United may increase on that £6 million offer to Maguire to get rid of him and then bring in Todibo, as he's got more options of playing under Ten Hag's team and will give Ten Hag some serious options if a centre-back gets injured throughout the season. We've just seen with the injury of Mason Mount that it throws the entire Manchester United team into turmoil. Who replaces this player? And they haven't got good enough players to come in if a player gets injured from the first 11. Some good news on new signings coming in is the goalkeeper Altay Bendaya, who is a Turkish goalkeeper from Fenerbahce, and he looks like he will be joining Manchester United very, very soon. He has been in the UK and there's talk that he will be announced very shortly as a new reserve Manchester United goalkeeper. Get in there. But the biggest problem for Manchester United hasn't been the buying of players this summer transfer window. In fact, there's lots of players lining up to come and join Manchester United because they believe in what Ten Hag is doing at Manchester United, and they believe that Manchester United is a club moving up in the rankings. However, the biggest problem for Manchester United has been the transfers out, the sale of players. Historically, Manchester United in the last 10 years, 18 years, whatever you want to say, have struggled to sell players. Yes, no one wants to buy Manchester United players. Manchester United players who some might even consider are still in their peak. Maguire, McTominay, Donny van de Beek, these players have not agreed to leave the club. They've not been able to sign for a new club, and it's causing huge problems for Ten Hag and the club, who are looking to buy new players but can't afford to buy new players because the old ones are still sat there on huge salaries and refusing to leave. When I look over at Harry Maguire, I look at him and think, mate, have some decency, have some self-respect, get the hell out of the club. Ten Hag does not have you in his plans, he doesn't trust you, he doesn't want you at the club, he took the captaincy off you, he didn't play you as a centre-back and played Luke Shaw in centre-back rather than you when you were sat on the bench waiting to play. And if that isn't a sign, and if that isn't a signal for this guy, I don't know what is. What else do you have to do to tell Harry Maguire that he's not wanted at the club and that he's not going to get any game time no matter what he does? And one thing I don't get about Harry Maguire, does he not want to keep his England place? Does he not realise that if he does not play regular football, Southgate, the England manager, will have him out of the England squad in no time, and he's going to lose his captaincy as well? Why would he risk all that just for a few more £1 million? You can go and earn that money elsewhere. But this problem of players at Manchester United not wanting to leave and refusing to leave and waiting out their contracts just so they get paid out whatever they owed is ridiculous, and it tells you much more about the ownership and the way the club has been ran under the Glazers than anything else. And I'm sure Ten Hag is scratching his head, sat there thinking, what the hell's up with these players? Why do they not want to leave and go and play elsewhere? Why would they be prepared to sit here and get humiliated instead? Why would they do that? And I'll tell you why, because these players have got no self-respect. Before I go any further, hit that like button on this video so it gets passed out to a lot more Manchester United fans who can also watch the video and enjoy the content. And if you're new to the channel and it's the first time you're watching this channel, please go ahead and subscribe so you can get all your Manchester United news in one simple dose every day without having to go and search the internet and looking at all the different news and then working out whether it's fake news or whether it's actually true. So go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Moving on now to the news that broke yesterday that Sheikh Yassim is going to be the new owner of Manchester United, and unfortunately the Glazers have done it again to us. They've done it again to all Manchester United fans. They've pulled our pants down. They've realised that they can do this. They can fool every Manchester United fan when they want to, through the media, through the press, by releasing all these random stories about how Manchester United is going to get sold. Unfortunately, we fans who want to see the back of the Glazers start celebrating on reading this kind of news. We're so thinking, right, okay, finally, thank God, we've got rid of the Glazers. They're going. But this is a Glazer trick. This is what they do. They distract us fans. They want us to see something else when they want to be doing something else. And to be fair, a lot of fans out there did spot this from a mile, and they did say that this is because of the whole Greenwood issue going on, and they want everyone to now stop talking about the Greenwood issue and they want to talk about something else. So what do the Glazers and Richard Arnold do in a situation where they're getting so much heat from the Mason Greenwood issue? Well, clearly what they do is they call up the Sun newspaper, who's one of their friends probably, and say, right, can you go and release this story saying that we're going to sell Manchester United in October to Sheikh Yassim? Boom, the story gets leaked. Everybody starts talking about Sheikh Yassim and what's going to happen under him with Manchester United, and no one is talking about the Greenwood issue or Richard Arnold or talking about the Glazers, and that is what they want. But this time the fake news by the Sun newspaper got quashed within 24 hours by decent journalists and decent newspapers and news agencies who came out and said that this is not true. And in fact, the situation hasn't changed. The Glazers have ignored every offer that's been put on the table to them, and they've simply not responded to either Sheikh Yassim or Sir Jim Ratcliffe. What it is that Glazers want more money. They're waiting around to see if someone is going to come in last minute and bid something huge. What the Glazers are hoping for is that someone's going to walk in with a huge bid and buy Manchester United for 7, 8 billion, 10 billion pounds and buy the Glazers out, and that's when the Glazers will be prepared to sell. And until then, we're stuck with the Glazers. But what is clear to every fan is that these Glazers are causing the club to go into absolute breakdown. It's chaos at Manchester United. Nothing seems to be right. Everything is up in the arms. The Greenwood issue, the Maguire, the McTominays, everyone is unsure about what's going on. We've heard from sources from within Manchester United that they do not know what direction the club is moving into. There's different parties moving in different directions. No one is on the same page, and it's just a complete mess. Manchester United fairly early on in the transfer window bought in 3 signings, and that was quite good. We thought, wow, this is the new Manchester United. They've never done this before. We're going to go now and we're going to maybe sign 1 or 2 more players before the transfer window closes, and it's going to be all good. We're going to sign some decent players and we're going to have our team sorted, and Ten Hag will have his team ready before the season starts. We're very organised and we look like we know what we're doing. But that early good head start has completely gone out the window, and it looks like Manchester United have returned back to their old selves, and everything seems to have gone into complete breakdown and chaos around Manchester United, and the transfers out and the transfers in. No one is coming in, and definitely no one is leaving Manchester United. Manchester United have clearly struggled to sell their players, and it's caused a huge headache for everybody concerned. Now, just simply a week or 2 ago, everything looked like it was on track and Manchester United were coasting to a decent transfer window. If you asked many fans, they were quite happy with what was going on. They knew that a few more players will be coming in and Manchester United will have a decent summer transfer window. However, last week this all got turned upside down with the news that Harry Maguire was refusing to leave Manchester United and join up with West Ham, despite Manchester United having agreed a £30 million fee with West Ham. This Harry Maguire news felt like the beginning of the end for Manchester United, and everything started falling apart. The Mason Greenwood announcement came out of Richard Arnold last week, which was really weird and odd. No one knew what to make of it. Was he staying? Was he not? It was just unclear, and it was not good for either party. Then we heard Maguire is not leaving and wants a payout. Then we hear McTominay is not leaving. Then we hear Donny van de Beek's not leaving. Then we go and lose 2-0 to Spurs. And this week, shock, horror, there's a U-turn on Mason Greenwood by the Glazers and Richard Arnold. And to cover up all this crap, all this rubbish that's going on at Manchester United, what do the Glazers do? They put the cherry on top of the cake by announcing that they will be selling to Sheikh Yassim and putting out that fake news. But this time, that fake news has not worked. This is like the girl that cried wolf too many times. The Glazers have been found out. Everybody knows what they're up to and what they do. Every time they're under a little bit of pressure, every time they feel the heat coming round the corner, what do? They put out fake news about selling the club when they've never had the decency to even go and acknowledge the offers made by Sheikh Yassim or Sir Jim Ratcliffe. And this whole problem with players not leaving, the reason why they're not leaving is because they do not fear the ownership. They do not fear the Glazers and they do not fear Richard Arnold, because they know that the club has turned into a complete joke and they sat there. And because the players are sat there and Manchester United can't get rid of them, Manchester United cannot go out there and buy players like Amrabat and buy players like Todibo, because they are waiting there for Manchester United to come in and buy them, not knowing that the Manchester United owners, the Glazers and Richard Arnold, hand in hand, do not know what the hell they're doing at the club. And with all of this craziness going on with the Glazers, with Richard Arnold and Harry Maguire, what do the media choose to focus on? They choose to focus on Ten Hag. For some apparent reason, the whole media circle have decided to go straight in on Ten Hag and start criticising him and his tactics and the way he's setting up the team and the way he's choosing players and the players that he's bringing in. It's almost like the media are unhappy that Ten Hag is getting rid of Maguire. Yeah, that's what it feels like. It feels like they want to get him back for something. They're just focusing on Ten Hag for no reason. He's not done anything wrong. We're 2 games into the season. 1 game we won, 1 game we lost. How is that pressure on the manager? The manager is trying to use a different system, different tactic with new players, and he wants it to work. He will need time. The players will need time to adapt to the system. Why the media have jumped on the back of him, we have no idea. What Manchester United fans need to do is protect our manager, protect our players. We are fully in support of Ten Hag and what he's doing at Manchester United. We believe in his plan and we believe that the players that he's brought in will succeed, and the players that are playing for Manchester United right now will succeed, apart from obviously Harry Maguire and others. And it's not easy for Ten Hag to have owners that are complete jokes and not backing him up. They're not giving him what he wants. They've not given him Harry Kane. They've not given him other players that he wants. And they're not getting rid of players that he wants to get rid of. But the same media that goes on the back of Ten Hag and the players at Manchester United and starts criticising them and starts blowing everything out of proportion, this same media will never ever call out the Glazers for what they've done to Manchester United as a club. We at Manchester United Stream love bringing positive vibes and energy towards Manchester United and around Manchester United, but we cannot sit back and allow non-Manchester United fans to go out there and criticise our manager and our players for nothing. We are only 2 games into this season and we're not going to accept people coming out and calling out our manager or our players for no good reason. And can anyone say that the manager and the players have not been affected by the off-field things going on at Manchester United? Do you really think Ten Hag is not affected by the Glazers and the sale of Manchester United? Of course he is. Do you really think the players are not affected by the whole Mason Greenwood issue or the Harry Maguire issue? But let's be positive. Let's think positive. We Manchester United fans will see the back of the Glazers very soon. I can tell you that much. No matter what happens, the Glazers will leave Manchester United. By hook or crook, we Manchester United fans will have them out of the club. We want our club back and we'll have new owners who are on the same page as every fan out there. We want Manchester United to rise up again and become the club it once was before the Glazers arrived. Please hit that like button and subscribe to the channel. Hope you enjoy the show. I will be back with more transfer news later on because I can't fit everything into one video right now. It's getting very difficult to keep everything short and simple, so what I'm gonna have to do is maybe do 2 or 3 videos each day to get everything crammed in, because the transfer news is coming thick and fast and it's impossible to get it into one short video. So what I'm going to do is break it up into small videos and you can keep up to date with all the transfer news. Enjoy the rest of the day. You are watching the Man United Stream, a channel by the fans for the fans. Goodbye.